Bayou Time Sports is brought to you by Terrible General Health System's Community Sports Institute in conjunction with Barker Honda.
Hello and welcome to this edition of Bayou Time Sports. I'm your host, Keith Weissite. Thanks so much for joining us. And it's always great to be joined by the men and women who are taking care of our kids, teaching our kids, and more importantly, helping them learn the value through sport. We welcome in the coaches over at Houma Christian. Butch Terrio, baseball coach. Butch, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
Glad you're here. Christy Crowdis, the head softball coach. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Man, I'd ask y'all how long y'all been coaching, but between the two of y'all have been coaching like longer than I've been alive. And so I kind of don't even want to have to go there. But you guys have done this for a long time. Let's talk a little bit about some of the challenges last year and maybe how the team did.
Well, I really wasn't too much on the baseball side of last year, but I was around the school, around the players, around the guys. So I got to listen and talk to them and all that. And, you know, last year was probably the same problem that we're going to face this year is we're just extremely young. You know, last year we were just like freshmen on down was our core players. You know, this year it's sophomores on down. So, I mean, it's the same issue we fighting this year compared to last year, but man, we're making tremendous strides going forward with that. So
the impact of Ida, the impact of really just interrupting life, but how did it interrupt with baseball, and how do you find that they're doing now?
Well, we were very blessed that our field, you know, we got some damage. We were able to play on our field.
So no different than most.
More than different, yeah. We were able to have a home field kind of atmosphere and all that, but you know. As for the mental aspects of who we're going to play against, when can we practice, when we can't practice, you know, how can we do things, what does equipment do we have, those things kind of, you know, took a toll on our guys. But, you know, this year moving forward, we made those improvements. We fixed everything we had to fix. Our field is looking tremendous. You know, our attitudes are doing great, not like on and off the field about, you know, we kind of put Ida to the side and let's get some sense of normalcy and let's do it the right way.
Right. So let's talk a little bit how we kind of help those freshmen and sophomore. How do you build some maturity for them? What are some of the things you try to do to instill that? Well,
we like to put them in pressure situations, even at a young age that they're in. So one of my biggest things is I make practice as fast as I can. So when it is game time, it slows down. I like to get our upperclassmen, the few that we have, to kind of take that leadership role and kind of, you know, hey, listen to what's going on. There's brighter skies ahead. You know, things are going to shape up. You know, it's a learning curve for you guys being at a young age. You know, there's a lot to learn. You know, don't blink because it's going to be over quick. So,
talking about the speed, I don't know, and I've done this for about 12 years now. I don't know that I've heard anybody talk about the value of speeding things up in practice so it slows down in the game. And the reason is because that's one of the things that we see when we change levels, right? Whatever level it is, that the game gets faster. And so I love that concept of really approaching faster speed at practice so things slow down. You create more comfort, a little discomfort at practice, more comfort in the game.
Well, we believe that the game is a time for them to shine.
Right.
It's a time for them to give back all that they love, you know, just all the gifts that they have. It's a time to give back, you know, especially to their Lord and Savior about, you know, thank you for everything. This is my time to put everything on display. It's not a coach's place to stand and interrupt it. Now, practice, that's my time. It's time for us to teach you the fundamentals, to teach you the hard parts of baseball, to teach you, you know, like I said, like to speed it up. You know, so, you know, they hear me and I'm their biggest competitor during the week. And when it's time to come to the game, it doesn't matter what opponent they face. They know they face a fierce one every single day.
Wow. Being their biggest fan, getting out the way. Something we kind of learned over the years, huh?
Yeah.
So, Christy, tell us a little bit about what you're kind of seeing last year, kind of moving towards this year.
So last year we made it to the semifinals. We lost in that game. I'm very fortunate that we only lost one player from last year. We had a pitcher. And so we're returning all of our starters. So I have a great core group of older girls, and then we have a great group of younger girls, 7th and 8th graders as well, filling in the gaps and, you know, have strong outfield just across the board. I feel like we're just very strong, and the challenge is just to get the younger and the older ones to mesh. And just like Coach Butch talked about the speed of the game, I do have some younger girls that are going to be starting, and for them just to, you know, the high school level is different from even competitive travel ball level, but they're working hard, they're stepping up, and it's just been a pleasure to watch them grow.
Well, kind of exciting. I love that you've got those position players where they are, and only losing one senior, only losing a pitcher, and then you got some others to kind of fill in, right?
Yes.
And so pitching, it kind of starts with pitching, right?
Yes.
But that's not the only thing. Getting them to mesh and getting them to make sure that they have her back.
Correct.
In the game.
You know, if we don't have unity on the team, then you can have as much talent, you know, you can have all the talent in the world, but if you're not unified, you're going to struggle. And so, you know, we're continuing to work on that, and I see it coming together and just getting the young ones to communicate more, and you know, it's going to be fun to watch.
I love the idea, especially that y'all learned a lot last year. Is there anything that became a little more comfortable with going as far as you did last year and getting this team kind of what they want to expect for this year?
I think that we just learned, you know, that we just have to take care of the small things on a daily basis. That if we take care of those small things, then the big things are going to happen. And, you know, being there at the state tournament last year, felt like they were very nervous. And, you know, it's our goal to make it back there this year. And I think that they'll do a better job having been there already.
Yeah, that comfort level, trying to be able to speed the game up at practice to slow it down for them to be able to feel better. It looks like both of y'all are doing that, which is just really incredible. And being able to get that feel for what they won't be surprised for this year when they make it to the state tournament, right? And when they get there, a whole lot more comfort or comfortability about what they do. We certainly wish the best for both programs. Thank y'all for what y'all do. Thank y'all for being coaches for as many years as you have, and teaching our young people about being better people, better players, and eventually better adults. We appreciate it very much.
Thank you.
All right, thanks for joining us. All right, that'll do it for this particular edition of Bayou Time. Don't go anywhere. A lot more local programming right here on HTV.